Hello everyone, myself Dr. Parth Goswami, and today I am going to teach you about von Hippel-Lindau syndrome. It is also known by the name familial cerebelloretinal angiomatosis. The name itself suggests it is a group of syndrome, means there is a multisystemic involvement. This particular syndrome is a rare genetic disorder, and here there is an involvement of multiple systems in our body. The main feature of this particular VHL syndrome is that patient is having various benign tumors in the various organ and patient is having visceral cyst formation. So that is the two characteristic feature of VHL syndrome. And this particular syndrome developed because of the mutation in the one particular protein name is VHL gene, which is located on the chromosome number 3 and it is present over the short arm of chromosome number 3. All right. So that was about the introduction. Now clinical feature. So friends, the clinical feature in the pheochromocytome, clinical feature in the VHL syndrome develop because of various clinical presentation. In this particular disorder, patient can have cerebellar hemangioblastoma. So the cerebellum, like that of nervous system, central nervous system is involved, and that's why the patient is having difficulty in walking, dizziness, and the weakness of the limb. Because of cerebellar involvement, patient can have vision problem as well. In this particular VHL syndrome, patient can have adrenal medulla tumor, which is known by the name pheochromocytoma. In the pheochromocytoma, there is a secretion of adrenaline and noradrenaline, right? So this adrenaline and noradrenaline can increases the blood pressure, and so patient can have headache. All right. Now, these are the particular disease that is associated with the VHL syndrome. The main one is angiomatosis, particularly in the retina, right? Then hemangioblastoma, particularly in the cerebellum. Hemangioblastoma is a vascular tumor, right? So it can be present in the cerebellum. Adrenal medulla tumor also can be developed, which is known by the name pheochromocytoma. This is the diagram of pheochromocytoma, right? Which is a small round cell tumor. And here you can see a Gel-Bellin pattern. In this syndrome, patient can develop renal cell carcinoma, which is of utmost importance, right? Whenever the patient is having RCC, you have to suspect VHL syndrome. Patient can develop pancreatic cyst as well. The other disease that can be seen in the VHL syndrome apart from these are papillary cyst adenoma of the epididymis and the papillary cyst adenoma of the broad ligament of uterus. Angiomatosis particularly seen in the retina. And you might be surprised that 40% patient of the VHL syndrome will have CNS hemangioblastoma. So you can imagine that how common is hemangioblastoma in the VHL syndrome. All right. Now pathogenesis. So friends, the main pathogenesis for the development of VHL syndrome is a mutation in the VHL gene. So first of all, you should know what is VHL gene. This particular VHL gene, von Hippel-Lindau gene, is present on the short arm of chromosome number 3, and it produces a one particular protein name is VHL protein, which will bind to the hypoxia inducible factor 1 alpha when oxygen present in the cell. But if the oxygen is not present in the cell, means hypoxia, or if the patient is having mutation in the VHL gene, then this particular protein will not bind to hypoxia inducible factor 1, and because of which there will be activation of multiple transcription factors like that of vascular endothelial growth factor, then platelet derived growth factor beta, then erythropoietin and genes that are involved in glucose metabolism. So because of activation of this type of transcription factor, VEGA, platelet derived growth factor beta, EPO, and the genes that are involved in glucose metabolism, patient can develop cancer, right? All right. And this is the main mechanism behind the formation of renal cell carcinoma as well because of VHL syndrome. So the cancer in the VHL syndrome develop because of this particular mechanism, mutation of VHL gene. All right. And for the diagnosis, you need at least two tumor should be present. Understand? At least two tumor among these should be present to diagnose the case as a VHL syndrome. And ultimately the diagnosis is made by the detection of genetic mutation by molecular testing. right? RT-PCR like that of molecular testing, FISH like that of higher investigation should be done to detect the gene abnormality, particularly to detect the VHL gene mutation. Now, what is the treatment of this VHL syndrome? So, it's a multi-systemic involvement. So, treatment has to be done according to the development of various lesions. Suppose the patient is having CNS hemangioblastoma, then surgical removal might needed. If the patient is having retinal angioma, then you cannot do surgical treatment. For that, you need a photocoagulation and cryotherapy. Suppose the patient develop renal cell carcinoma, then kidney removal need to be done, which is known by the name nephrectomy, and radiofrequency ablation might needed. The latest treatment for the RCC is belzutifan, but the role is not proved 100%. All right. So this is the various mode of treatment of VHL syndrome. So this is all about the VHL syndrome. Hope now you can easily identify this particular syndrome in the patients if it is present, right? And particularly if the patient is having renal cell carcinoma, then you have to suspect about VHL syndrome. So the von Hippel-Lindau syndrome mainly present with angiomatosis, hemangioblastoma, pheochromocytoma, RCC, and the pancreatic cyst. This is the most important MCQ as well in the exam. So don't forget about the disease that is associated with VHL syndrome. This is all about the von Hippel-Lindau syndrome. Thank you very much and see you soon in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye.